For over 2 decades, they've entertained us, made us laugh, got us excited, and at times even just a little bit worried. But they always made being a car enthusiast feel pretty awesome. With the release of their final episode of the Grand Tour, it kind of marks the end of an era for the trio. And it's a little bit hard not to feel a little bit sad that we're not going to see these three together on a motoring show again. And of course, you've probably guessed who I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Top Gear and the Grand Tour's own Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about these three motoring legends. From their start at Top Gear to how they transitioned to the Grand Tour and how they've kind of impact what car videos are like now. So why don't we begin right here? Their journey began on Top Gear, where they redefined what it meant to be a car enthusiast. And of course, you can't forget this intro. The moment you heard the Allman Brothers tune, you knew Top Gear is on. The visuals of Clarkson, Hammond, and May against the backdrop of incredible moments from the series were a signal that we were in for an hour of top-tier car television. Top Gear wasn't just about reviewing cars though, it was about the adventures they went on, the epic road trips that we took with them, and of course, the failures that came along the way. We watched them navigate the frozen wilderness of the Arctic, endure the blistering heat of the desert, and survive the wilds of Bolivia. They took us along for thrilling races, absurd challenges, and of course, some genuinely worrying crashes. What made Top Gear truly special, though, was the chemistry between these three hosts. It felt very real, like watching close friends have a time of their lives together. Even if parts of it were scripted, it never felt that way. Every moment seemed spontaneous and authentic. Even attempts to recreate that magic between these three on Top Gear America felt forced and scripted. It lacked some kind of natural camaraderie that Clarkson, Hammond, and May shared. And the authenticity of these three made Top Gear very special. But of course, Top Gear had their controversies and their scandals around it. One being in 2015 where Clarkson was removed because he had an altercation with a producer on the show. In kind of a display of their friendship, Richard and James stood by Clarkson and resigned from the Top Gear show as well. They left behind a BBC show that pretty much defined them. But of course, as you know, they weren't done yet. In the following year, Clarkson, Hammond, and May would make their return to television when they made a deal with Amazon to host the Grand Tour, which kind of brought back their signature style. For the first 3 seasons, it was the familiar mix of adventure and humor, much like the Top Gear days. Then in the 4th season, the format kind of shifted a little bit to special episodes that kind of felt like grand adventures that were kind of sprinkled out throughout the year. And now after years of kind of pushing their limits and exploring the world and making us laugh, we've kind of reached the end of the road. The final episode of the Grand Tour, One for the Road, marks kind of the last time that we'll see the iconic trio hosting together. Like I said, it's a little bit of a bittersweet moment, kind of watching them share one final adventure and then kind of seeing their journey come to an end where it all began. And if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about, and I won't spoil it for those that haven't watched it yet. It's a bit hard to imagine not seeing these three on screen together again, hosting a motoring show, but we do owe them a bit of our gratitude for years of motoring entertainment. Of course, each of them have their own endeavors right now. Clarkson with his farm and his pub, Hammond with a show on Discovery and running a YouTube channel. And May has his own pub as well. And then he just released a line of gin, which I hear is quite good. And I definitely need to give it a try. But their chemistry as a team will sorely be missed. And of course, I can't state enough how much of an impact they've made on me. And of course, you can also see the impact that they've made on other YouTube channels as well. You've probably seen a lot of YouTube creators do exactly what Clarkson, Hammond, and May do on YouTube. There are a few channels that come to mind right now, such as Throttle House. They do a lot of car reviews that I feel that are similar to how Clarkson, Hammond, and May do theirs. It's a bit silly and fun at the same time. They are a great YouTube channel. Of course, the intro to Mighty Car Mods kind of throws me back to what Top Gear looks like. And of course, one of their hosts is actually a host on Top Gear Australia. So there you have it. And of course, CarWow, where they do their car reviews so much like how they did it back in Top Gear that it just takes me back. And of course, there's many more, and there's many YouTube creators that are creating new things, such as Donut, Big Time. I can name off quite a few more, but you get the point. And even here at Gas and Watts, we do take a lot of inspirations from Clarkson, Hammond, and May, even though we're not quite as good as they are yet, but hopefully you can see a little bit of the inspirations that they have on us. With that, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Jeremy, Richard, James, you guys are legends at the craft and legends at motoring television. I'll see you next time.